Welcome back to another video. The last 2 weeks, we have looked at the most recently traded players and noted their situations to buy or sell. Now, there will naturally be carryover on these players week after week, specifically looking here at Breece Hall, who is the most traded running back. This is a unique way to gauge, the market and how active it is currently. Speaking of that, the most viewed running back, according to CBS Sports, is Amari DiMercato. He likely is going to be a waiver wire pickup this week, which backpacks off his strong week 5 performance, in which James Conner's injury and Keontae Ingram not being active in week 5. So let's look at a few additional recently viewed running backs. Tyjae Spears. He put up his best performance in week 5. He had 12 opportunities, finishing with 11 touches, 69 yards, and his first career touchdown. I would recommend buying him. He has been a benefactor in the receiving game. Spears, he has consistently also been involved in the offense, and he has even outsnapped Derrick Henry in 3 out of 5 games. Now, steps do not equal opportunities. However, it is important to be on the field. Henry, he has averaged 19.4 opportunities, while Spears has averaged 9.2. Spears, he has been effective, and he has showcased his versatility, which will warrant questions for continued involvement in this offense. I would try to acquire Spears while you still can. And now, if you are enjoying the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Next up for a running back, mostly recently viewed running back, is Justice Hill. Now, he is coming off a week 5 game where he did score a touchdown. Gus Edwards, he is strictly involved in the run game, where Hill, he just saw 4 targets. So despite scoring that touchdown through the run game, Hill, he received less carries than Edwards. He also had a fumble and also has the 10th fewest rushing yards over expectation per attempt through week 5. It truly seems like this backfield is going to be a nightmare to predict who's going to score that touchdown. I would sell Hill away if you can find a buyer looking for running back help. Next up, for another running back, we have Zack Moss, a huge week 5 despite Jonathan Taylor returning to the lineup. He may have a lot of views per CBS Sports, as everyone may be confused why Moss had a huge game. It was noted in Indianapolis they would limit Taylor, though, in this game. Moss had 23 carries for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Taylor, he just received that new contract, so it's hard to imagine Taylor will not completely take over this backfield. However, it's also hard to ignore Moss completely balling out. He likely will retain a role in this offense. I am unsure what that role will be. The team is competing for the divisional title, and they should utilize players who will help them win. The entire league knows Taylor's back, so you will likely probably see the hold on Moss unless you get that no-brainer deal. Let's move on to some wide receivers. Josh Reynolds, he has been a highly viewed, according to CBS Sports. Following a game where Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs were inactive, Reynolds, he had 4 receptions and a touchdown. However, he has been a consistent factor in this Detroit offense. He has averaged 4.8 targets per game. He could be viewed similarly to Zack Moss, as he is a player who was contributing to a team fighting for the divisional title. The return of Jameson Williams was noted he would be on a snap count. However, Reynolds, when you look at him, he is currently ranked 10th in the NFL in PFF receiving grade. I would like to buy Reynolds. The potential return of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Williams, it may have a league mate ready to send him off. We have seen that Goff and Reynolds connection even dating back to the Rams. We know that they have that, and that is important. Moving on here, we have a rookie, Michael Wilson. He did have that breakout game in week 4, but unfortunately in week 5, he only had 2 targets and came in with 1 for 18 yards. This was like a come down to earth game here, at least for fantasy purposes. However, he did have the second highest snap count game so far in his career. There are always positives within a negative scoring game, and Wilson, he still is an intriguing player to try and acquire. He has 3.14 yards per route run versus 2 high defenses, which is only 0.04 yards below Jamar Chase and 0.22 more yards than Jalen Waddle. I would like to think the coaching staff will use this game and learn heading here into week 6. I would definitely buy Wilson. I'm just not singling him out to trade for, but This is a buy low here, especially if he's just a throw-in in a package. Continuing on here with a rookie, Josh Downs. He also has been recently highly viewed, and the people are curious on him. He may have had his breakout game here in week 5, where he finished with 6 receptions for 97 yards. I mean, he has always been consistently utilized in this offense. In week 3, he had a 12-target game. However, he only had 57 yards. His role, it seems to be evolving in the offense where he is being utilized more down the field. Gardner Minshew, he will start here in week 6, and this will eliminate any designed runs for Anthony Richardson, potentially having more passing attempts. Now, he may be a waiver wire pickup, which would be surprising to me as he had 24 targets through 3 games. I would definitely try and trade for Downs if you can. The rookies, they may be waiver wire pickups, but, I guess this kind of comes down to roster size as well. However, these are the types of players who definitely deserve an end-of-the-bench stash. Now, when we look at recently, KJ Osborne, he has risen in views, but, this is going to come naturally following a Justin Jefferson being placed on the injured reserve. And finally, let's look at some tight ends here. Logan Thomas, the most viewed tight end. He's coming off a 9-reception Week 5 game. In PPR leagues, he has seen at least 7 points in each game. Can he keep up this Week 5 performance for the rest of the season? That is the question. I mean, probably not. However, he will still have a role in this offense, and he poses as a red zone threat as well. He probably is going to be hard to acquire following this Week 5 game, but if the price is right, I would absolutely be wanting to get Thomas on my team, especially if I'm missing that tight end piece. When you can have a consistent tight end and not necessarily have to worry about streaming that position, I'm always going to try to capitalize on that. However, I just am not sure we can completely say Thomas is that guy, but it is worth the shot. Another tight end here, Dalton Schultz, coming off his best game, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Now, he has back-to-back games with a touchdown. However, Tank Dell, he did leave the game early. He has entered concussion protocol, so unsure if this could be a reason why we saw Schultz have this game. So I would be looking to sell Schultz if I do have them. He kind of seems like that typical tight end streamer who someone's going to want to add following a big game, but just not have that week-to-week value that we want here at this position. Finally here, another tight end. We are looking at Jonnu Smith, a highly viewed player come here according to CBS Sports. Smith, he has 4 straight games with at least 6 targets. He also has at least 4 receptions in those games. The most impressive part so far is Smith is 4th in the NFL in receiving yards among tight ends. And when we look at that, he put up 0 yards in the first game. The recent addition of Van Jefferson has me optimistic Smith will continue this performance. Jefferson, he could stretch the field while Smith will work underneath. I would absolutely try to buy Smith if you can. Another tight end, apparently, that we could just trust in our performances, especially when we look at these last 4 weeks. Thank you for watching today's trade video. If you did enjoy the content, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more fantasy content.